What we're going to focus on today are what are the good outcomes you can see, but also what are the possible bad things that could happen without estate planning. The sad tale of Joe and Sally. Joe's first marriage ended in divorce. He kept the house, but was really cash strapped, so he had to refinance his house. The lender made him have a co-signer to keep the house, to refinance the house. So he had his mom sign on and put her on as a joint tenant on the house. Mom was on the deed. Joe was making all the payments. Just a side note, joint tenant means when the first person dies, it automatically goes to the other person on the deed. So Joe and his mom were joint tenants on the deed. A few years after he did that, Joe met and fell in love with Sally. She had two little kids that he loved and considered his own. Sally had a good job and her paycheck went toward at least half the bills, including the refi mortgage. Joe always meant to change the deed and take his mom off and take his mom off and put Sally on, his wife, but Joe was in a terrible car accident and died. No will, no trust. And guess who inherited the house that Sally had been making payments on for 10 years? Mom. Guess who had to go to court to sort out community property versus separate property? Sally. This was most likely not how Joe wanted this to end up. In addition, the wife, Sally, had a joint bank account with Joe, so that was hers, but Joe had never changed the beneficiary on his retirement account. It was still his mom. And he had never changed the beneficiary on his life insurance, so it was his mom. So Sally had no claim to the retirement account. Well, some claim, but the retirement account went to mom. The life insurance went to mom and the house went to mom. So yikes. Sally had to go to probate court to get sorted out, to find out what belonged to her, what she had to take care of her kids. And the probate process lasted over 2 years. Probate in California took 2 years at the best of times. Since COVID and everything getting backed up, add another 6 months onto that at least. So when you don't want to be in my office, attorneys that focus on estate planning have two ways to help people. One is as a litigator, fighting against another attorney to approve whether you or most likely one of your family members has rights to something. Attorneys make a lot of money doing this. Family members versus family members, it's messy. But I spent way too many years as a litigator in courtrooms, and there's almost always a better way. The reason I put this presentation together is so that you or your family members don't have to go through that.